we had to figure all this out.
But you did it. We did it.
We did.
We're not out of the weeds yet.
Well, it's okay. The very worst case scenario, we'll just have a really long conversation between the three of us that people will,
Right, we're live now.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah. That way I can see Chelsea's face without a huge delay.
Okay.
Hello. So everybody, this is Chelsea from Pumpkin Sparkles Babies.
Hi, everyone.
We're going to do an interview.
No one. Hi.
I'm sure someone will be here soon.
Jenny will be here. Amanda will be here.
Yes.
All right. I love how the live started in mid-sentence. That was pretty classy.
Yes. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I've given up. I can't, I can only see your beautiful face, so it's fine. I can't see anything else. But can you hear what I'm saying? Or is it delayed?
No, so what we did is we muted the audio through YouTube and we just have Zoom up. We have YouTube on the other screens over here. So
And you're my beautiful thumbnail for this. I love
it. God.
You are, because you were talking whenever we started. You shouldn't have talked.
Okay.
All right. So for those of you tuning in, I hope it's working because we spent like 2 hours this morning trying to figure this out.
But we figured it out, which is exciting.
I think.
And by we, I mean Ethan did.
Yeah.
No.
I didn't.
We just watched.
I just Googled things.
I just clicked links. And it worked out fine.
Your grandma's watching.
My grandma's watching.
Oh, your grandma. Please tell her how much. Wait, I love the video of you holding the twins.
I love that video too. My grandma's so sweet.
That made my week. That was a great video.
It was.
I gotta say the video. I'm looking at the video on my phone here, and I think it's better quality than what I'm seeing on the screen. I don't know. We have like 5 different devices connected to the internet right now. But
this is like a legit production now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, if you see all the lights around us, it kind of looks like it. We'll have to if we do this, what is it, podcast live or whatever? Yeah. We'll have to do it. We'll have to get you better lighting. I'll hook you up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks too expensive.
Y'all, I wish you could understand how much lighting I have, but how much it just doesn't work at all for what I'm trying to do. I have those lights that you put in your garage that make it like summer, the infomercials where it's like it lights up everything, like it will give you a sunburn. That's the type of light I have when I paint. And I did, because I need to, Josh calls it turning on the sun. He's like, can you please turn off the sun? Yeah. But I need the light, but it's crap for photos, it's crap for video, it's just not good. So one day when I move to light, I will have like actual daylight and it's going to be great. The houses in the south, they have like no light because it's so hot in the summertime. So everything's super, super dark in my house.
Is it like that at the house in Florida, Ethan?
Well, funny enough, because my house in Florida, there was this big bush outside the back, like the window to the master bedroom, and it was horribly ugly. And everybody told me, they're like, because I was getting ready to rinse out, and they're like, you get rid of this, it'll look a lot better. So I did. I had it cut out, but then the master bedroom was insanely hot after that.
Yep.
Covered up the whole window, and then after that, it was just like melting in there all the time.
Yep. And Florida is like just a different level. So
like 9 box fans, and I dumped them all together.
Yeah. I remember when we were trying to do Jack's like newborn photo shoot, I had like a professional photographer come over, and they were like, this house has no light. Are you a vampire? I'm like, yeah. So now that I'm actually trying, I mean, you should see the setup in the kitchen. I mean, we took down all the curtains, and I have like a white, anyway, yes, the lighting situation we'll have to figure out for our podcast. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, you have done a lot of research on it. And I think our lighting looks fairly okay. We don't look too dark.
No, y'all look great. It always looks good. It's bright and nice.
Is that
Like
good?
you have lots of it.
Yeah.
I was up for like 3 hours early just to get it all taken care
Good.
of. Yeah.
My mom has a question for Chelsea.
Oh, okay.
My mom wants to know, what is the average price that you charge for dolls?
The average price that I
That's a
charge.
lot of math.
Right now, the average price would be about $850.
Yeah. Which I think is fair because you do really good work.
Thank you. It's the price is based on a lot of different things, but mostly it's the amount of time and detail that goes into each of the dolls. And it's a lot of work. And it doesn't look like it's a lot of work, but it is a lot of work. So the more like little tiny details that I do and the more time it takes to do it, it's that I kind of plan accordingly to that. But like a cuddle baby is a little bit less because I just work on the face. But like Kiersten's doll right now, the body that's on that one, that actually is so difficult to put together because my poor lovely husband hand sews the seam. Yeah, I put him to work. And he's the one that weighs the cuddle babies, and he sews the seams and stuff. So and that is extremely time consuming. So it's everything about it is time consuming. But yeah.
If you heard a loud buzzing sound, that may have been our dryer. I forgot.
Oh,
God, I left
I didn't
it.
hear it.
Okay. So did he know how to sew before you started having him sew, or did you like specifically have him learn for that?
Y'all, let me tell you about my husband.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you a very quick story. His mom is a quintessential Italian mom, and she knows how to do everything. And she is, when I first met her, she won like maybe like $6,000 on a pie contest. Like she just came up with a recipe.
Wow.
She bakes cookies for her dog. I mean, she's just so good at everything. And she knits does she knit? Yeah, she can knit, and she crochets everything. Now I went over to her house and she taught me how to crochet by like sitting behind me and like trying to show me how to do it because I'm like, I cannot do it. So I went home and I finally got it and I showed Josh and I was like, oh, look what I can do. And he's like, oh, yeah, that looks really complicated. And I showed him what to do. And then I went to do something and I turn around and he has legitimately crocheted a pot holder.
That's amazing. I'm so sorry.
Like with like, I can't. With like detail, he just taught himself how to, and I was like, well, I'm never ever crocheting again. Nope.
So you got mad, walked out of the room, came back, and you had a blanket.
I said, maybe you should start crocheting some baby booties now. Like, let's like put this to work. He's really good at building. He's a very talented artist. He's just like that. He's very detail oriented. So
Yeah.
he's just, yeah. And I could probably sew, but I just let him do it because I do enough. So, but yeah, the cuddle babies, that's his thing, and he absolutely hates it now. So,
Oh, poor thing.
I say, you have another cuddle baby to make.
Oh.
So yeah.
Well, I'm glad I own a little bit of Josh's work.
Yes.
How long did it take him to make the bodies?
So the actual body, like that white one is made by my friend Deborah, who I link in all of my YouTube stuff. She made the pattern. She does that. She's wonderful. But to hand sew and to fill up the stuff, it's probably about maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Wow.
Of him sitting there and doing it. I mean, he puts it off, which I feel like he makes it go longer, but that's just me. I'm like, can you
out of my soul?
You gotta crack down on him. You're like, come on, get to work. What are you doing?
He once sewed a doll, like I think it was like let's just pretend it was like a white doll, but he once used like yellow thread, and I was like,
what are you doing?
I'm like, but why can you see it? But see, that we do this thing in our marriage though, where sometimes like we just do these things like awful, like we do them like purposely bad. So I think that's like what he was trying to do. I'm like, oh, it looks great. I love it. It just adds something different. Yeah. He's trying to get out of it, but he won't be able to.
He's like, oh, I thought this one was supposed to have 3 arms.
You're-
My bad.
You're much meaner than I am. I probably would have been like, well, you screwed up. I'm taking this away from you forever.
Oh my gosh, the first time that you remember our conversation when I was first starting to do these cuddle babies and I was having like a legit breakdown. Oh my gosh, he got Sharpie on the doll, like on the doll head. He's looking at you then, he's like, oh God. Because you have to mark like where the legs and the arms go. He like did a big line across the doll head that I've just painted for a week. And I was like, his face, he was like, and I was like, what happened? And I looked down and I was just like, he's like, oh, can you fix it? Can you fix it? Can you fix it? Yeah, I was able to fix it, thank God. But yeah, just a little bit of alcohol real fast. Just get that Sharpie off. But we've had some issues. We're a good team.
You guys are. I'm you guys.
When you're not sabotaging each other.
Yes, exactly.
Drawing on dolls, using yellow thread.
Okay, so we have about 30 people watching now. So who are you?
Who am I? I am Chelsea Pierce of Pumpkin Sparkles Babies. That gets mentioned in all of Kiersten's TikToks and videos, and I'm so honored that she does that.
I'm surprised I can say it all in one day.
People are like, why did you choose that name? I'm like, because I like pumpkins and sparkles.
I think it's incredible.
Those are my 2 favorite things in the world. So
Speaking about how much you love pumpkins,
yes.
Do you have Bob with you? Would you like to tell us about Bob?
Yes. 1 second. Now you're making me get up. So hold on.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Bob is hanging out with Bean.
Aw, they're such good buddies. Bean is a kitty.
Oh. Bob
Right.
is not a kitty.
He is not.
This is Bob.
Your first silicone baby.
My first silicone baby. I love this thing. It makes me so happy. I just sit here and I just like make him chew on his little hands. I wish it would stay.
Yeah.
They're very cute. I was expecting it to be like super sticky, but it wasn't at all.
Mm-mm.
No, when I attempted to paint silicone, it didn't go very well. So that's why I thought it was going to be sticky, but it wasn't.
Okay, well, I guess I can mark that question off the list.
He's not kidding though.
What was the question? Have you ever painted silicone dolls?
No, let me see here. What are your thoughts on painting silicone dolls? I prepared for this, okay? I took 30 minutes.
I am so impressed.
I wrote down notes.
It's awesome. Okay, so my thoughts on painting silicone dolls. I really wish financially, A, that I could afford to keep practicing, and B, it's a completely different medium, and it's extremely difficult for me to switch from the routine that I have with the dolls. So it's hard, and it's not a cheap thing to like mess up. Yeah. So the kits that we buy to make the dolls, they're used to be $100, but now they're upwards of $130, just the blank vinyl kit. And even Bountiful Baby, I mean, that used to be like the cheap, but it's not. It's now $80, and you still have to, and it's $70 for just the kit, right? And then you still have to buy the body. So and then with shipping, because they up their shipping, so you're still paying the same amount of money.
You just don't think you are. That's
right. So it's expensive, but silicone kits are like $800. That's let me just repeat that. It's $800 for a blank silicone doll.
Yeah, I think I paid that for my partial. That isn't going to be here till.
Well, that is the partial, but right. So I don't think it's full body. I think you still have to get the cloth body. So if you mess up, it's just
that's money gone.
Yeah, it's very stressful for me. I would love to like have the freedom financially and the space. I think it is like different though, because like this isn't a hobby to me. Like this is how like I feed my children. So I don't have the luxury of just spending so much money to learn how to do it. And I tried, and it just didn't go well. And I'm just not a silicone artist, and that's okay, because there's really, really great ones out there. And, you know, and Ethan's psyched. He's psyched I'm not a silicone artist.
I think Ethan would be an amazing artist. I wish he would try.
Yeah, if you go watch our previous live we did with your parents.
I watched it.
Yeah, I think I did a really good job.
I agree. Did I not say I wanted your doll?
I know.
need to put that in the mail. I forgot.
I keep checking the mail, but it just never is arrived. So I'm waiting.
Because you have some extra goodies we have to put together before I put them in the mail.
I don't really
just sign it and put like one of a kind or number one.
Yeah.
1 of 10 or something.
No, 1 of 4.
Oh yeah, 1 of 4.
I don't really consider myself to be like I don't consider myself to be like a creative person, and I know that that sounds crazy, but I'm not the type of person that like what you guys sat down and had the freedom to just create whatever you wanted to, which is why I'm so in awe of like the alternative reborn artists. Like I find them so amazing, and like low-key wish that I could just hang out with one of them one day and just like watch them paint, because that is something that is pure like creativity.
Yeah.
With me, it's like I'm always looking at baby photos, and I'm always looking at like skin tones, and like I'm just always trying to achieve like a different skin tone, but there isn't any like, oh, I think this should be, you know, wings, or have poop go up the back of it, or whatever. And you know, and I think there's so much freedom, and it's so cool to, like, to be able to have that like room to express yourself with your art. So hats off to the people that do that. I think it's really admirable.
I think it takes a lot of creativity and I don't know, other amazing words that I can't think of because we're on a live stream right now to paint a baby.
Well, I was going to say, have you thought about just giving your husband a couple Sharpies, and see what happens?
He would do great. He would do great. When we first started, well, I guess dating, I don't know. He was my boss. So it's weird. But he used to just draw me photos, like stick figure photos, like on Paint Shop. And I mean, he's extremely talented at everything he does. So I would never let him paint a baby, because then it would just be better and it'd be like this weird competition. So although there have been many times, Ethan, where I have said, hey, can you just root that for me while I go nap, please?
Do you sleep? That was one of the questions.
Oh,
What?
Do you sleep?
Do I sleep? Yes. I go to bed very early and get up very early.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So moving on to the second question.
Okay. Are there people in here, or have they all pieced
There's
out?
just over 30 people.
two of them are our parents.
Yeah. They're probably all my dad with different accounts, I assume.
Didn't your dad text you and he was like, were you guys talking to someone?
Yeah.
We couldn't hear you.
Yeah. So we were testing this setup because this is the first time where we're doing a Zoom call live on YouTube, right? So it was a lot of learning. And we were using my account to kind of test it and figure it out. And I didn't think anybody would actually like join the live chat as we're doing testing, right? And doing a horrible job at testing it because we were doing it completely wrong. And then I'm like, we have a viewer, somebody's watching this. And my dad like called me, and I'm like, okay, it's my dad. He's the one watching.
That's awesome.
So,
is he in here now? Is he catching it live?
Yeah.
he is.
Nice. Yay!
And he texted me. He's like, I was just letting you know, I can hear what you guys are saying. And I'm like, what? Wait, what did we say? Because yeah,
we said a lot.
Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think anything bad. But
No.
okay, so how did you guys meet?
Oh, I wish there was so many more people in this room for this. This is the story.
I know, but I talked about it last week, I think.
I feel like we probably talked about it multiple times.
I've talked about it forever. I got a hate comment on Tuesday. Did I tell you about that?
No,
Said
I haven't cried about it yet. Go ahead.
They said I was too negative, and one, my job in the military isn't stressful. Two, that I'm too negative, and I'm always telling my big negative scam story. The story had such a great ending. It led me to you. Of course, I'm going to talk about it.
Okay, so this is from my perspective, because I've actually never told the story. I've told it to Kiersten, but
now I'm interested to hear it.
So, okay, here we go. Excuse me. So Wow. Okay. So I started painting not even 2.5 years ago, right? In the beginning, I was just trying to figure everything out and stuff, but I really didn't watch I really didn't watch YouTube that much, but I did. Ethan, this is a serious
okay, all right.
So anyway, I started watching YouTube, and there was this, you know how they recommend stuff to you, and it was Kiersten's scam story. And I'm like, oh my God, why do I keep seeing this video all the time? Like, it kept popping up. I was like, I don't really want to watch that, because it like made me feel like uncomfortable, because I don't like hearing about other people getting scammed. Like, it really bothers me a lot, because I'm like, oh my gosh, it's gonna happen to me. You know, it's just, you start getting nervous about that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm talking about like a couple of days. I kept seeing this video. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna watch it. And I watched it, and I watched all of them, and I watched them again. And excuse me, my goodness. I just remember, I remember thinking that this girl tried to do something really nice for somebody, and she got shot down, and it turned into this awful mess for somebody who like was putting her faith into somebody else. And I thought, I really, really want to reach out to this girl, because I think that she's a really nice person at the core of her heart. And like, I wanted her to know that there are people in this community, even though I was relatively new, that aren't scammers, that aren't, you know, that value other people doing nice things for other people. You know, it's so difficult for you to like trust people, especially when you want to trust people, because you want to believe the things that they're saying, and then when they just so blatantly aren't who they say they are. So I reached out to Kiersten, and I said, I would really like to make you a doll. And she was like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
And to give you that side of the story, and she told me, she's like, this person, you know, she just went through the whole scam and everything like that, and she's like, this person like
I was legit, like, I was thinking about leaving.
Yeah,
I didn't want to talk to another human again.
Yeah. And it was me that told her. I was like, no, give this person a chance. They sound, I don't know.
Nice.
It sounded different, you know?
Yeah.
Well, and it wasn't like, you know, I just wanted Kiersten to know that that what she did was not wrong. Like, she wasn't in the wrong in any way. Like, it was something that was coming from her heart. And I just thought, like, this woman is so nice. And I sometimes do things out of kindness, and I think it gets misinterpreted for weakness too. And, you know, but it's okay to be nice to people. And I wanted you to, and going into it, like, I didn't honestly think that we would become best friends. Like, I didn't think that it would be like that, because I think a lot of people assume that we have like a transactional relationship, and we very rarely ever talk about dolls.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm so grateful for your, you know, for all your shout outs and your you know, obviously, but if you never mentioned me again and you never had another doll on your channel, like, we would still be friends. So so
that first conversation where we really talked, I'm not going to say what we talked about on here, but it was the deepest stuff from our core, and we just put it out there.
Yeah.
That's kind of what creates friendship sometimes.
Right. And I do remember, you know, I went through that really horrible thing soon thereafter, and Kiersten was there for me in a way that I didn't have a friend like that. And she didn't need to be, which was, you know, because we didn't know each other. And I was just so honored by that. So I made her a doll, and I cringe every time I see it, but that's okay. It's okay. You have a lot of different stages of my work, which is great. but that doll came from the heart. So
and she'll always be one of my favorites.
So then you continued on with your YouTube channel. This was before, how many followers did you have at that point?
5,000.
I mean, this was before either one of us had 10,000 on Instagram. I mean, remember that was like our goal. Like, we're like, so
I'm like, it's gone.
And you've grown so much, and it from this place of authenticity. It's like, it's really cool to see. So I'm so grateful that I reached out to you and then I saw your video because, you know.
You did too.
So yeah, it was a scammer story, but it ended up good. Go ahead, Ethan.
I was gonna say COVID just needs to be over so you guys can meet in person.
I know.
I
Here soon.
Yeah.
I know. We're planning on moving early next year, so I'm really excited to get over to the West Coast. It's gonna be
I was
great.
gonna say, if you want, I can try to scare some of our neighbors away so you can get a house just like right across the street or something.
I'll just put all the dolls in the front yard.
There you go.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Halloween would be amazing. Wouldn't it? Did everyone leave yet? I don't know how many people are in here now.
I actually have more.
Oh, okay. That's even better. Maybe
Our
they'll rewatch
story
it.
brought in more people. So no, I think I think it's a really great way.
I think
you
it's
guys
just
came
so
together.
beautiful how it all worked out.
Yeah, just because sometimes bad things happen, so better things can happen.
Yeah.
I feel like probably like a quote or something for that, but I don't know.
And then Ethan, because you guys were not living together at that point.
No,
I remember that.
I think maybe 6 months before we had started talking, Ethan was stationed out in Florida, and when me and you started talking, he was about to go on his adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my fun vacation in the desert.
Yeah.
No, but you reached out to me, Ethan, and you it just in this like random account. I didn't know who, like I didn't know you obviously. And you were just like, thank you so much for making my I guess it was fiance.
Yeah.
But I think, or my girl, I think you said it was a very nice message, but for making her happy, that means the world to me. And I just thought that was like, oh, that's so kind.
Well, I'll say this. I mean, you don't see this all the time, but sometimes Kiersten's having a terrible day and you're the one that changes that. So.
Oh my God. I feel the same way though. I really do. Oh, and Jenny too, if Jenny's in the chat.
Jenny, it was a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago. I just had the worst day. I had not smiled in like 2 or 3 days. And she sends me a care package. And that was the first time I'd smiled in days.
She just sends lovely care packages and cards that are, and I'm like, gosh, I don't feel like I'm an adult because if I was more of an adult, I would send her a thank you card for her thoughtful card. But I'm like, I will just message her.
This is a running joke with my mom and dad is I don't go to the post office. And when I go to the post office and they find out, they celebrate. I'm not an adult.
She sends me to the post office all the time.
There's nothing wrong with that. Josh goes to the post office for me too.
We work opposite shifts, right? She's at home in the morning when the post office is completely open, and she doesn't go to the post office. And then when I get off work, she's like, "Hey, here's all the information for this package. Can you send it?"
Yeah.
That being said, the first time she ever sent me to the post office,
this was
in Hawaii, and she sold a doll on eBay for like $350 or something like that. And I messed up the address.
And it went to her neighbor and they never gave it to her. So I had to refund her.
And I was like new boyfriend at the time as well. So I was like, well,
yeah,
she's going to hate me forever. And I think I remember that story more than she does.
Well, I don't blame you. I think one of the biggest fights that Josh and I ever got into is when he dropped a UPS box off at FedEx.
But he's really great at knitting and sewing, and he does so much. He's great with Sharpie markers.
It needed to either go to USPS, FedEx, or UPS, and I'm proud.
Well, this was when I was selling on Macari, and they make you pick the different ones, and she was like, "It's not updating," and I'm like, "Oh, I don't know why it's not updating," and I was like, "Oh, because it never went there. It's in FedEx." Great. So I had to actually end up. I mean, that was a nightmare. I mean, it's so awful. If I could walk these dolls to people, I would do it. Oh gosh, the post office.
It sucks that I think a lot of customers think that we really do drive to their house and deliver this.
Yeah. So much faith is put into the post office. I wish you guys understood what it feels like to be an artist and to wrap up the doll and just hope that it makes it on time. I make Josh stand in line now and scan the doll. He no longer is able to just put it in the mail slot because one doll was never scanned. Remember this?
Yes.
And thank goodness it's from somebody that, I adore, and she was so great about it. but it was just never scanned. So it's just like in the abyss of the UPS. Just no idea where it is. I mean, I was calling Utah. I was on the phone with Tennessee. Like, it's so, and you know, obviously it ended up where we're supposed to be, but like, oh my goodness, especially around Christmas time, that was a nightmare. So yeah, we care more than you care about receiving your doll. I'm just gonna put that out there. The artists that created the doll, I promise you, if they could walk it to you, they would. Well, at least I would. That's how I feel. So
I don't think I know that I could probably make a profession out of painting dolls based off of the one I painted. But I've got to say, I'm not sure.
You're good.
Sounds a little much.
Well, even just selling like dolls that were in my personal collection, it sucks. It really sucks. I'm just hoping it'll get there, hoping it won't be another nightmare.
Yeah, it's
every single time I ship a doll for her that she sold online or something like that, I'm always like, I really hope checking the address 15 times
I know.
I got it correct.
And then you gotta like clap 3 times and turn around. And,
right, tap your heels together. There's no place like home.
I swear though, like that, yeah. I was watching a video on here about the, you know, I think a YouTuber got her doll lost in the mail, and I'm just like, that is why I don't ship internationally. And then I feel like it's why I insure the dolls. But then I was actually looking up insuring the dolls, and that it basically means nothing.
Yeah,
because you have to prove its worth. Which how could you do that? And I mean, do you just show them like what your other dolls would have sold for, and then you have to prove damage. So if it's a loss, it's just I don't even know.
Yeah, we were going through that with the crazy story that led you to me. I don't think we were going to be able to get like the insurance back or whatever if it really was lost.
Yeah. So it's your artist cares about your doll, folks.
Really, you don't need to. Slander is probably the wrong word, but harass. Yeah, a lot of people I feel like harass artists or whoever sent their item.
We have no idea. We know as much as you do. It's hard. So
Kiersten's dad drives a truck across country. I mean, you guys could just start like throwing them to him as he drives by. Just like wrap them in double-sided tape and chuck them at the side of the truck.
So I think we've talked about my idea for whenever dad comes by next, I'm going to give him a doll and say, have fun. I wonder if then people are going to like track down my dad and be like, give me that doll.
Yeah, probably.
He's the blue Swift truck. That's going to narrow it down.
Definitely going to end up like, oh, but those people that want those free dolls, man, they'll come out of the woodwork. They just like appear out of nowhere. Can I have it for free?
They'll be like, I saw her dad in one video. I know exactly who he is.
I know him.
Speaking of terrifying people, that leads us to our next question.
Okay.
Remember that we are trying to keep this PG.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on all of the bullying Kiersten has received?
Oh, you mean keep my mouth?
I should say this beforehand because I think I mentioned it yesterday and people were like, oh, just block the person. No, this was over 1,000 comments and it was just extreme.
How many followers do you have on TikTok now?
74,000.
Also, do you like it when I call you Lambie?
No.
Okay. So yeah, Kiersten.
How many people are in here?
29.
Mine says.
Yes. Okay, let me tell you about that because that was insane.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make sure that I'm saying something.
As I say, our lives a lot of the time will get usually around like 5,000, 4,000.
I know. I saw 60,000 the other day.
What? It's not true. 60,000? Get out of here.
I think that my personal opinion is that she should never have comments on anything. I don't have comments on anything because I don't have time in my life to filter through nice, and I just can't do it. I'm not the type of person that is able to just say, oh, that's just someone on the internet. I take things very personally. And I don't enjoy having people that don't paint and don't have reborn dolls or know anything about what they're talking about give me advice or tell me what to do with my life, or my best friends. So I think that the majority of them are really young children. And as a mother of 2 children, I would be absolutely horrified if my child ever left a comment in any way, shape, or form of the capacity. Even asking for a free reborn doll is disgusting, in my opinion.
And some of them got extreme. Like some of them, I was in my little filter folder. They were extreme for the bad ones.
So, and I know that that's going to come off as like being mean or whatever, but the thing is that it's not.
Yeah.
So
you don't go into Walmart and say, I want that. You don't go into like, you know, a BMW dealership and say, I don't have any money. I have, you know, this, whatever.
They'll laugh you on the store.
Yeah,
so for those who didn't entirely know the story, Kiersten has a TikTok. She made a video and it got an insane amount
over a million at this point.
Just hate comments. And
it was over a million.
Hate comments.
Yeah. No, it was all really terrible. She wouldn't even let me see them because she was like, it's gonna make you too mad.
Yeah.
And me and Chelsea convinced my wife to turn off the comments because they were just pretty horrible.
Yeah,
also,
Ethan took my phone away for a few hours that day.
I confiscated her phone because she couldn't stop looking at the comments. And I just wanted to also say that I haven't talked to Ginny much, but I think one of my favorite things she did was whenever you said she went and just started replying to all the comments and telling them off.
I love Ginny and I am so thankful.
Yeah. I just imagine like her being like, all right, let's go to war. Let's do this. Okay.
But as a
over me.
Have you all seen What We Do in the Shadows yet?
No. Oh yes. Yeah.
That's
okay. Weird.
So you know Colin Robbins when he's a troll on the internet?
I don't know. Ethan's coming back. Did
Ethan leave the chat?
No, I had to my wife spilled Coke all over herself.
Oh, nice.
She forgot how to get out of a cup.
You know when Colin Robbins is a troll on the internet?
I think so. It's been a while since I've seen it.
And he's like super psyched because he makes people angry about
it. Yeah.
And I personally have never gotten to listen. I am a lot older than y'all. Like I don't have time to deal with that. I really don't. I know what my mental health can take, and I can't do it. So I know that these people are coming from a place of not knowing anything at all about what they're talking about. Yeah. And I think that there's such a stigma anyway about grown women that have reborn dolls. So
it's any dolls.
There's like, right. So it's coming from this place of like, I don't understand, but I want one. I don't understand. That's creepy. And then like, there's like a few nice comments put in there of like the people that like have reborn dolls and love your channel. You make beautiful videos and so I had a point and Jenny keeps popping into my head. Your friends, the people that see it, it's hurtful. It's hurt. I mean, obviously it's hurtful for me because I know that you mentioned me a lot, which I'm, obviously so grateful for, but our conversation started out with like, I don't think I'm going to mention you anymore. Like, I don't think that we don't want this type of people commenting. And I think like when you have like an open door policy, like you had before, it just invites everybody and their second cousin to come in and have their opinion on it.
And that used to be fun because I didn't mind explaining what these dolls were, but that's if you're respectful. If you're going to call me the C word and the B word, that doesn't make me want to interact with you.
Right. Well, you know how I feel. I don't think you should be interacting at all. So that's just how I feel. So
we were talking before this started that for Chelsea to fully express how she feels regarding hate comments, that she should text me first. I'll read her text on her real thoughts, and then I'll translate them so that they're appropriate.
You know my real thoughts about it.
Yeah.
Though. It makes me listen. It makes me sad. It makes me sad that it makes me sad. I mean, I cried actual tears. It makes me sad. I don't want you to. I don't stuff like that. Stuff like that would cause me. I want to take down my TikTok. I wanted to take down my business. Like that's stuff that makes people quit, because why would you put yourself through that type of abuse for no reason? And the more they see you getting upset about it, the more they do it, because they're trolls. That's plain and simple. So
your Kiersten's mom commented that I think this is a thing that I say, and I think probably your husband tells you as well, is to just ignore them.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know that is hard to do. It's not like I'm this 70,000+ follower influencer like you, so I can't really relate. But yeah, I think a lot of people say is ignore it. And
I don't read Kiersten. Well, I now she turned him off, but I have a hard time sometimes even going to her page to look at any of this stuff. But yeah, I keep. I mean, I don't have any comments on anything, because I just don't have. I don't care. Plain and simple. If you want to comment and interact with me, you probably have my phone number. So. Yeah. I mean, I know that sounds a certain way, but I'm grown. Sorry.
I agree.
And it's not saying that you're not, Kiersten. Like, I'm not trying to say that. I just feel like, you have this, you're so kind, and you want to explain to people, and it's like, no.
Yeah. And there's no manual on this. I'm just a little.
And you blew up so fast too. Yeah. I mean, it's not like YouTube, and I think like millions and millions of views of a certain thing, like on YouTube, in of itself is going to have like a lot of like really weird comments from people, because it's pulling in people that are seeing it that don't know what Reborn dolls are. So I think like, because your videos get so much likes or attention, it goes on that page of people like, what is this? People that don't have dolls aren't actively seeking it out like they do on YouTube. But that's just my opinion about it.
I think Kiersten is, how in the end of the Grinch, when his heart just grew to ginormous size, that's you all the time. You said your heart's gigantic.
But when it shrinks just a little bit because I said the word no.
Yeah. So I think it was my dad that said something. He said that and I want to know your guys' thoughts on this. If we send a doll with your dad to drive around on a truck, he should keep a journal, because I know he likes to write and he likes to read. He could write down everything they did that day.
Yes.
I think he should really just do a TikTok video of me for every day where he's been. And
then after like 2 weeks or
but
something,
I'm selfish.
Whenever he brings it back, we can just read through it day by day what happened.
Yeah. I fully support this.
Well, I'm sorry. I'll read it first, and then I'll edit it and and then make it appropriate.
I think it would be great. It would be a great companion for him, Yeah. It'd be perfect.
He does talk to the computers and stuff.
He's always telling me he wants a monkey, but he wants a monkey so that it can throw potty at drivers.
Yeah. I can see that.
Chelsea, if you were a trucker, what kind of animal would you bring with you?
I think you probably already know that.
A pumpkin.
No.
Wait, don't tell me. Triangle.
What?
I don't know.
Your homeschool is showing.
I was homeschooled. I don't know what I'm talking about. No, a cat. I'm gonna guess.
Yeah.
Yep. What about an exotic animal? Lion.
No, maybe.
The dad is pretty big. A lion could probably fit.
Yeah.
I don't really know. Maybe a raccoon.
A raccoon?
Is that an exotic animal?
It's exotic.
I've seen a few of those in real life.
That being said, I guarantee your dad has seen truckers with raccoons before.
He's seen them with parrots and all kinds of things.
That's cool. Yeah. The baby, though, would just set him apart. He could like put it up to the window. I think that would be awesome.
Well, another artist that I used to talk to, one of their customers was a trucker.
Mm-hmm.
And she collected all kinds of dolls.
That's awesome. I love that.
I think, is there a way that we could like hang the doll in the driver's side, the passenger side? I guess it kind of block his mirrors. But I think if we could make it somewhere where it's just, I think we should put it on the back of the trailer. Like just have it attached to the back of the trailer. So, and then have a camera back there and just film everybody's reactions, and then also the police pulling him over.
This reminds me of a story that I have to tell you guys off the live on YouTube. It's a good one.
Okay.
It's a good one.
What would make it even more realistic, instead of just having the doll like taped to the back?
Like a Garfield?
Right. Instead, so it looks more realistic, have a baby carrier and have that taped to the back, and then it's inside the that way it's safe. It's safety.
Well, if your dad wants, I could just send him vinyl doll parts, and he could just like have, arms and legs and stuff. I mean,
there you go.
My mom is watching, so she can ask. Hey, that's Autumn. Hi, Autumn. Autumn says trash pandas. And if this isn't Autumn, I am a dummy.
No. Okay.
Is Amanda in the chat? I don't. It just if she is.
Someone
Hi, Amanda.
Is.
Hi, Amanda.
I think I've seen 2 Amandas, so I'm not gonna.
I guess there's a good chance.
Amanda's excited for it because we did this one time before, remember, on Instagram, and people were like, "When are you going to do it live again?" So here it is.
A year later.
Well, we thought about possibly just incorporating you as soon as we'll just tell you, hey, don't have plans on Sunday ever again. And
it is Autumn, and yes, you should find Illy. Where's Illy? Do you have Illy, Autumn? So for you guys who don't have a clue, Autumn is my best friend since I was like 12, and we were seniors in high school. I think I was 17, she was 18. It's New Year's Eve night. We ditch the party she has, and we go to Walmart. It's 2 a.m. and I see this cute little baby doll for like probably less than $20, and I beg her to buy it for me. And we named it Illy, and I kept it for a long, long time.
Where is it now?
I don't know.
It's right here. I have it.
Oh, nice.
I think it was like a Fisher Price doll. Like it wasn't anything nice.
That's awesome. Oh.
Somebody says, LOL, yes, it's Autumn.
Yes, it's Autumn.
Yeah.
It's like a 30-minute delay. No,
All
it's the worst. Like when you're trying to chat in the comments, and you're like, so delayed.
I have to go get something. Kiersten,
Okay.
I know it might be tough without me here.
She's got me though. We're good.
Everybody keeps entertained. I'll be back in 5 seconds.
We're fine.
Yes.
As there's a silence. Anyway, let's see. What should we talk about?
I have a piece of paper here.
Okay.
Ethan asks, do you have any tips for someone who wants to paint dolls?
Wait! You can't ask that question yet.
Oh.
You can't steal my work. Okay, so.
Yes. Oh, there it is.
As you know,
yes,
I'm an inspiring artist.
Uh-huh.
This is my first doll I painted.
I love it.
It has glitter vomit. It has a beard. It's got maybe like demon eyes or something.
Yep.
It's got a sweet kind of mohawk.
Yep.
And polka dots. And then painted on socks and one glove.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think and a cape. It's pretty solid, right?
Yeah.
Especially for my first one. And I'd say, what would you say you would price this doll at? It's one of a kind.
Well,
Mint condition.
coming from somebody who wanted to buy it from you,
Right.
you said $1,000.
Well, I think I said 5 easy payments of $1,000.
Oh, sorry. Listen.
Oh, look, his paint's starting to come off.
All like that. Not varnish it. What's wrong with you? Come on.
Well, I was gonna varnish it, but then I didn't know what varnish is.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Anyways, so it's probably about $5,000.
Yeah, I think something like that is just it's absolutely priceless. Listen to me. Can I just please tell you something? Because I know you're joking, but I want to tell you something. The evenness of that paint is awesome. Do you know how hard that is?
On the back, it's
No.
not.
No, I just threw this together. You watch, you're gonna be like, you're gonna convince me, you're gonna be like, you should really try to paint one. Seriously, I'm gonna paint it, it's gonna be horrible.
You should totally. Well, it's different when you're trying to use like heat set paint. The washes, it takes a long time to build up. But listen, it's a really good job. I'm not kidding. I think all of them were great. I loved when I saw the photo the next day. I was like, oh my god, I'm so.
Did you see the one your dad did?
Did you see it?
Of course. Originally when I saw that you were painting dolls, I was like, I wonder why she never told me that she was painting dolls. That's weird.
Oh,
But you
because
didn't
we didn't want tips. We didn't want any tips from
I totally understand, but I thought you were painting dolls. Like I thought you were going to paint dolls, like Reborn dolls. I was like, that's weird.
What are you talking about?
And then when I saw you're painting dolls, I was like, oh, that's so, I thought it was great. I really did. And if you wanted to Reborn dolls too, I could zoom in on a class. We could do that too. That's a very expensive thing to just do one time, but
So for a new thriving artist like me,
yes.
what kind of tips would you have? Which was the question Kiersten was trying to steal.
Well, are you being seriously asking me for tips, or are you?
Yeah, this was a joke. The tips thing is serious. So for people that actually want to paint,
I
which of
can't
course
even
is
move
me,
his head.
you can.
Yeah.
You got to really twist it. There you go. See, look.
Josh came over to talk to me, and this was on it, and he backed away slowly. He turned the doll this way, and then I just turned the head to look at him. And he said, "Thank you very much."
I'm sorry.
The
Okay,
glitter's falling off.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I use quality Walmart glitter glue. I don't understand.
Let me tell you my tips, because I've got a lot. First and foremost,
Don't use Walmart paint?
I have a lot, I have a lot of, I think about these things all the time. I have a tutorial. I'm just going to, it's a shameless plug. I'm going to just throw it out there. It's on my website. And I tried to put together something that I would have wanted when I first started. I think that it's really, 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 really important when you're first starting is just like to make a lot of mistakes. And I know that sounds like so cringy because it's very expensive. But I think that it's really appropriate to, get tutorials, like try to figure out your own style. It's okay to look at other people's work in a way, but to really try hard not to compare yourself. I still do that, and it is difficult, but don't try to do too much. I think just the basics, learning how to keep your paint neat on the doll will set you apart from a lot of people that are starting out. Even myself, who's been painting for 2.5 years, I will tell you the hardest thing is checking doll constantly to make sure that something is not wrong with it. You haven't accidentally got paint on it, the creases and whatever. Because this is paint, and it's not always perfect, and especially after you bake it, things happen. So that's just don't be too serious about it, and don't be too hard on yourself, and just keep practicing. Legitimately, y'all know what it looked like when I first started. I showed you my first doll. In my tutorial, I rooted a full doll by myself, and it had 75 hair plugs in one root. Okay, but I kept practicing. I've legitimately been painting every single day for 2.5 years. My 3-year anniversary is in November. I've maybe taken a cumulative of maybe a week off. I paint every single day, and I practice.
Well,
so that's about it.
I used to draw a lot, and I would get people that would pay me to draw, and I would tell Kiersten this. Some of the best pictures I drew basically had no guidance. A lot of people would be like, hey, I want this specific picture. Mm-hmm. Every character has to be this specific way, and it would usually just turn out, I wouldn't be super proud of it. Yep. But then other people would be like, just kind of do whatever, and I think those would turn out a lot better. And I know Kiersten told me whenever you first started that you don't do commissions.
I still do not. I don't.
Yeah, you make your own dolls and then you sell them. And I think that's
and that's the reason why, is because and I'm also such a people pleaser, and I'm such a perfectionist that there's really no gray area for me when it comes to painting like that. So if somebody says I want it like this and I want it like this, I'm like, oh my gosh, I overthink and I overthink and I overthink, and it's I can't paint. It's crippling. Yeah. It's also if I look at somebody else's doll, I can't do it. I always want to make mistakes when I'm not authentically in my own flow. And when I'm not looking at other people or not comparing myself to other people, that's when the best,
Yeah.
I just want to tell you, the Willa that I just made, the Cassie Brace, is my most favorite doll that I've ever made. I was so proud of that doll, and I have no idea what I did. Not one. Not one. It's my favorite skin tone. It's my favorite nails. It's my favorite everything. And I just painted her.
Yeah.
And I think that's like, and that's how you feel about your doll.
Right.
Yeah.
I went into this and I had a plan, right? It was gonna look like one of the Avatar babies,
Yes.
and
It looks
then
like Mr. T.
yeah, I made a
That's
few.
what his dad calls him.
I just made a few mistakes, and I think it turned out a lot better. You know, like I made a mistake here and here and here and here and all of here and then all of this.
You did not, though.
Put her on the
It's
back
great.
too.
Yeah.
Do you have the other dolls in your house too, or did you?
Yeah.
Do you have them just like lined up?
No, they're in a trash bag, actually.
No, let's be honest. The Avatar baby's upstairs because I used it for a TikTok.
Trash.
And then my parents' babies, specifically Elvis,
This
are in
one
a
was
trash
this
bag.
one was also in a trash bag. But
It should be in a priority shipping box.
you know what? I picked up a couple of those whenever I went and shipped stuff for her the other day. I'll put one in there and I'll make it on my next delivery.
Okay. When she sends you to the post office.
Yeah, probably Monday.
That's funny. That doll looks very, very pretty lying there. It does look very real in the camera. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
I like
I
the.
meant his for a second because I was paying attention to my text messages, and I'm glad you meant this one.
Oh. What's happening?
My dad texted us saying he's alive. I don't know why, but so you guys know my dad's alive.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Are there people still in here?
Yes.
Yep. We're down to 24 now. But
Are people enjoying us talking, or are they wanting to?
I'm enjoying us
Okay.
talking. That's good enough.
how about this? Anybody who has questions for
Yeah, please ask
Chelsea
questions.
from pumpkinsparklesbabies.com, ask away.
Yeah.
I was gonna say so I have a friend who died about 8 years ago now, and what he would always say is fail is the first attempt at learning. And I really
Oh,
live
yeah.
by that.
Yeah. And it sucks so bad because, oh man, every single time that I've made a huge mistake, done something, I've always learned and I've always learned from it. Always. And I hate it. But it happens. Like, you learn from your mistakes. And that's and I fully anticipate continuing on down that road, because every doll that I make, I want it to be better than the next doll. And that's just my goal. So, and sometimes things happen. Like, is Jenny in here? Jenny?
Yeah,
when I was making a doll the other day and messaged Kiersten and Jenny, and it was like, I quit. I'm not painting anymore. I hate this. I can't do this. This is awful. And I'm like boo-hooing about it. And the limbs went in the trash can because I can't. I took them out, but they still can't.
All right. So we have two questions.
Oh, okay. I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. So I know this one was asked earlier and we got sidetracked, but someone known as Katie would like to know, Chelsea, what are the main differences between painting different skin tones?
Oh, that's a really good question, and I really wish I could answer you. God.
The kits come like this pale white color, right?
Right.
No, I'm wrong. Okay.
I'm about to fight you.
Educate.
Those are fighting words, my friend. They come like
They're orange. Oh wow, I was right.
They come like the Bountiful Baby ones are very, 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 very light. They're very white, but I do not. With that, the exception of this doll right here, I refuse. I can't. It's very difficult to work with that type of vinyl. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying that personally, it's harder to work on those type of kits. The ones that I get that are like okay, your Maddie that you have, the very first Maddie that you have, is my most favorite doll that I ever made. It was such a. I had somebody ask me what my favorite doll overall was, and it was Maddie. The skin tone develops over time, and I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. I just start doing it, and I have sometimes in my head I have like more newborn tone. Like, for example, this doll right here is a lot more newborn. The ears are a little bit more red. It's very difficult to get the paint to stick and to keep building up like that. It's very challenging for me. So the differences is basically, I think, the different types of tones of yellows and greens, and how, how much mottling there is. And I never know what I'm going to do, but there's like African American dolls are the hardest dolls to make. And it's because you would think that it's just like a straight color of, brown that would just be, keep going on top of each other, but it is like purple and it is blue and it is like dark green, and just so much goes into just making a skin tone. And it's not as simple as like putting like Flesh 08 on a doll and calling it a day. It's so complex. So,
and I'll say I've seen the ones where they do just put one skin tone, and
there's nothing wrong with that. And that's what I did in the very beginning too. But if you really look at people's skin tones, they're all different and beautiful. And especially babies, they have these like beautiful, like rich purples. Sorry, I'm like geeking out about color, but it's Anyway, so I don't think I answered your question, Katie, and I'm sorry, but it's kind of just like, I usually have a picture in my mind of kind of what I'm going for, and then the baby tells me as I'm making it.
And that
sounds crazy.
That's what I've always loved about you, because I don't think I could do a real custom where I'm like, I want this, this, and this. I need to be like, this is my dream kit. Have fun.
Yeah. Oh, and that was so much fun for Kinsley. Like, oh my God. Yeah. Like, that was such a fun doll to make. And I always love making dolls, for you, obviously, because there's such freedom in that. And I know you're going to love no matter what I do.
Well, I mean, if you make this, I don't know.
I don't think you'd be right. But yeah. Katie, did I answer your question?
Probably not, but we're moving on to the next one.
She's like,
what motivated you to start painting dolls?
What's that?
What motivated you to start painting dolls?
What
were you like, I'm going to start doing this Reborn doll painting thing?
So, back in a long time ago, I used to be a personal trainer, and I had my own business, and I worked for a gym eventually, and I had a client that is since become my wonderful friend, and she works with me now, and she showed me these dolls, and she's like, do you see this? And I'm like, what? That's a doll? Are you serious? That's a doll? Oh my God. And I was like, what is happening? Because that is not a doll, right? And this was like back probably like when they first started, maybe like 2013. Not when they first started, but when I first saw it was 2013.
Yeah.
And I was like blown away. So then I decided that my daughter, who does not play with dolls at all and could care less, really needed one for Christmas, right? She needed one, but it was really for me. So I found Ashton Drake, is that right? Mm-hmm. Ashton Drake? And I got one for her for Christmas, and it was really for me. And I loved it, and I thought it was so cool, and it looked so real. And like, obviously looking back, I mean, they really aren't that real looking in comparison to
they're still cool though.
They're still cool, yes. So then fast forward a little bit later, I realized that the kits were a lot less expensive than the actual dolls. And I knew nothing about buying Reborn dolls. Like I never looked into it. I just was like, I want to make this myself. I want to see if I can do this. And then I put it off for a couple of years. I started to do reselling stuff like in Poshmark, and I was finding these really cute dolls at Goodwill, and I was realizing that the ones that looked real sold the fastest. So I was like, well, I'm just going to make these dolls, and I don't even care what they look like. I'm just going to sell them. It didn't matter because I was seeing all of these dolls on Macari and stuff that it didn't seem like it really mattered. I woke up one day, I told Josh, this is what I'm doing, this is how much I'm spending, and he was like, okay. I've never in my life painted. I'm not an artist. And I think it was like maybe a month or so, I sold a doll. I sold a Liam for $400 on Macari, and he was like, okay, let's do this. You're doing it. Okay. So that would, and he just progressively saw me, how dedicated I was to it, how much I really wanted to do it. And I've kept that motivation and momentum from the very first doll that I made, that I wanted it to be better than the last one. So
That's so good.
I just woke up. So long story short, I woke up and just decided I was going to paint dolls. That was it. And
now he's sewing bodies for you.
I love baby dolls. Like I let that out. Like I have wanted to be a mom like my whole life. And I was a mom to my baby dolls when I was little. I was never into Barbies. I was always into baby dolls. And I love the fact that I am 37 years old. And my children, my youngest is going to be 10 in a couple months, and I get to buy baby stuff.
Yeah,
like, that is so cool. Like I know so many people like that are my age that love what I do. They don't understand it, and they think that they need a reason to have a doll, right? But they see I know all of the new baby stuff. And I don't have a baby. I know all the people are coming to me when they're having a newborn. They're like, what do I need? I'm like, oh, there's so many cool things out there now, right? I love being able to dress up the babies and to be like a newborn photographer and stuff. It's very cool. It's very cool that I get to do that, not having babies, and I don't cry, and I get to and then I get to send them away.
Yeah.
They don't stay in my house. So.
And they don't poop. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, your dad in his story about you is awesome.
Yeah, he has plenty of those. Maybe we should just have Dad on live one day and he can tell whatever story he wants.
Oh yeah, we'll have him zoom in from his
truck.
Yeah. That would be awesome. But yeah, that's my answer.
Aww. Someone asks, is this something you can learn without artistic skills?
Yes.
I mean, earlier you just said that you don't feel like you're artistic.
No. I was a I mean, I have my degree in English and psychology, and I always liked art. Like I always enjoyed it, like, coloring, whatever. But I think I have a very specific I want to say talent, but I'm not trying to say that as a talent. I have a very specific focus on trying to get better. And I really appreciate color now as somebody who's done this for such a long time. It doesn't seem like a long time, but I do it every single day for hours and hours, so it feels like a long time. I think anything you put your mind to it, and I know this sounds cliche, you can get better at it. I'm serious. If there's something that's your focus and that you are passionate about, you will get better at it. I started at ballet in my 30s, and I ended up dancing and getting a hip replacement, but that's fine. But I mean, like anything that you're passionate about and you put time into, you'll get better at it.
Yeah. If you look at my very first video, like if you work at something, you can.
Yeah. I mean, just look at how much you've improved just, in the past
year.
I mean, your video quality, your thumbnails, everything. I mean, if you put your mind to it, you said, this is what I'm going to do, and you did it.
Yeah, I don't know who that person filming is. They do a really good job.
Yeah, they're very creative with angles.
Yeah.
And editing. You guys didn't edit before, and now you edit, and that's
hard.
Yeah.
And learning that stuff is time consuming and difficult. It's not, I mean, I remember, I used to take photos of the dolls with my phone, and now I have this big camera that, is a newborn photography camera, and it's very different. So
I think that's what a lot of people don't get. I think someone on TikTok asked me yesterday, how did you get so many followers? And how did you get good at this? It just takes a lot of time and a lot of practice trying to get better.
Yeah. And not getting discouraged too.
I had a question for both of you guys.
Yeah.
Do you guys both just drink Diet Coke all day?
Yeah.
Because all the time Kiersten's like, has Diet Cokes in the fridge, and you're drinking Diet Coke, and I'm putting it together. Did you guys start this at the same time?
We're not supposed to say that though, moms and chat.
I mean, you're drinking coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I drink a lot of coffee. I do. I get up at 4 a.m. though, so I start working at 4 a.m. Sometimes 3:30. Let's be honest. So.
Did I tell you? I don't know if you knew, but I used to drink a lot of energy drinks, and I've switched to black coffee now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I doesn't want to feel fried.
I was drinking a lot of Red Bull, and I was wondering why I was having so much anxiety. Like I couldn't figure out like why I was anxious all of the time.
Why am I being looked at?
Like, why are my hands shaking? I don't understand. Like I'm doing like detail work and I'm like, yeah. So I drink a lot of coffee, but since it's becoming like summertime, I have my matcha green tea and lemonade. That's my favorite. So I make it myself because I don't go to Starbucks anymore because it's saving money. There you go.
Have you ever heard of a thing called a Keurig?
I have one, yes.
I bought one.
It tastes
Did you?
like carrot water.
Yeah, it's magical. I press 2 buttons.
Did you ask me if I ever heard of a Keurig?
Well, I didn't hear about them until like a month ago. So, where you like put these little capsules in, and you just press a button, and you have coffee.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? Awesome. Yeah, Josh got me this like beautiful, like really nice Ninja coffee maker a couple of Christmases ago, where you can like make the foam and stuff. And I was like, oh, see, he's not here all the time to do this for me. So the Keurig is just, I made coffee. Great. It's great. My dad used to do like the coffee at night, so it would like make it the next morning, and like, you know, like the automatic drip thing, or like you could set the timer. Like that was the technology. Like, that was the exciting thing.
I have the cheapest one I could buy.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
It's awesome though, isn't it?
It's pretty great.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
have I totally tanked your live, guys? Is this bad?
Is
No,
it bad?
you're
Probably.
fine.
I've monopolized the whole thing.
I'm enjoying you.
Like my dad's here. That's it.
I'm enjoying you guys, and I get to see random comments from people I also love.
Good.
Yeah, I don't think I have. I that's all my questions I wrote down. We have to make up questions now.
Okay.
We still have random questions in here.
Random people ask me a question.
Brandon Gwen wants to know, so the dolls come unpainted from manufacturer?
Oh yeah, I can show you. Hold on. That's a really good thing. I've got a lot of dolls. Hold on. Most of them are Amanda's dolls.
Good question.
He's a professional.
He is. You are too.
I'm a professional. At
Mhm.
what?
And then Katie also mentioned that she got to watch me be born.
It's great.
Y'all ready for this?
No.
Okay, so they come like this.
So cute.
And this is Hanny by A.K. Kitagawa. And there's no eyes, so that's how they come.
Oh, that's a cute face.
So just to give you an idea, like this is like
Aww.
so
Well, I thought you said they were orange.
this one, I'm gonna turn the light on for a second. So hold on. Woo! Yeah, this one's not that bad, but it is it's definitely not skin tone. So it's
I really love that face.
I know, I'm so excited to make this one. This one is for one of my favorite people.
Good.
And I'm holding off on making it for maybe a month or two. Let me see if I can get an orange one for you. This one's Stanley Oliver. This one is a little bit, but yeah, they come like this, and you have to buy eyes for it. But like,
Aww.
I like how you're waving to it. Not alive yet, Kiersten.
I know, I'm so silly.
But yeah, that's how they come when you order them, and you have to paint them and varnish them and weigh them, and it's a lot.
Yeah, they actually have weight in them. I think I keep describing like cuddle babies as a stuffed animal, but that's still not accurate. They have weight.
Yeah, that one's heavy, especially. I made sure. Well, Josh made sure that was heavy. I like how they have the weight to them. That's my favorite part.
So nice. It's like a weighted blanket, except
Yeah.
I can carry it upstairs.
I really like how you can pose them. I really like doing the newborn photo shoots, like when they're like little burritos. That's my favorite part. You just wrap them tight.
You're so good at that. I feel like I'm not. Come here.
Practice.
Do you? So I have a question because I've seen some of your ones where they're like all curled up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you take those pictures before you attach their limbs?
No, I don't do that. I know a lot of people do that, and I just feel like how do I say this? I want to be authentic with the buyer, and I don't feel like that's authentically selling something when the doll can't actually do that. So I don't really like to take pictures of the dolls before they're together. And also that's a lot of work to half put it together, and then I just like to have it together, take the photos, and then like pack it up. That's what I like to do. But a lot of people do, so that doll can lie, in more like a natural position. But
so I was thinking about taking a picture of this when I put it up to sell it, but adding some laser beams coming out of its eyes. Do you think that would take away from the authenticity, or do you think that?
No, I think that would be great. Actually, don't do it as like the first picture, but like do it like the end. Like this is what you could do with the doll. And then
kind of, because there's a cape. I mean, obviously it's painted on, but I could Photoshop like a flying cape in the background.
Yes, that'd be perfect.
You can do a lot with your dad's doll and post pictures of that.
I have a feeling we just need to buy my dad either an Ashton Drake baby or a baby from Chelsea and not give him baby Ethan.
Don't give him baby Ethan. Oh my God, that poor baby.
What? We're not giving him baby Ethan, first of all. Can't do that. No. What am I going to harass?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Maybe a cuddle baby. Maybe I could just make your dad a head.
Yes.
And put it on a stick or something.
I mean, and then he just needs like a blanket, and then he could be like, oops, and like the head will fall out. That'd be perfect. I mean, that is my 2 million viewed video on TikTok.
It is.
That when a random thing when I was to my daughter, hey, let's pretend that you're trick-or-treating and you pick up the doll and the head falls off. 2.6 million views. I was like, what? What's happening? But I thought it was hilarious. I find those things very funny.
I love how we have the same sense of humor. No, other people kind of scold us sometimes, but I think we're funny.
I know you try to keep your stuff very PG, so I'll like pitch all these ideas, and she's like, "Well, maybe let's tone it down."
I think with TikTok, the thing I do like about TikTok is we don't have to tone it down anymore. Whatever crazy idea we come up with, let's do it.
Yeah.
Within reason for you. What are we watching now?
I have no idea.
So did you actually brought a doll to Disney with you?
Yes. Yeah, I brought Paisley. That was when we went with my parents and great grandparents.
I gotta say, it is always so much fun when you decide to bring a doll to Disney. Because Bessie's walking around with their giant military issued backpack with a baby in the back of it, stuffing it between his legs while he's trying to go on the Incredicoaster. It's not you.
It's not me.
It's not you.
Then we brought Lovabella.
Do you hear that?
Tiny Lovabella doll. That's okay.
You're walking around with the little princess backpacks, like, I'm so cute, I'm so pretty, it's so tiny and lightweight. And I'm there like, wait.
Dying.
When we brought Paisley, and then you were pushing my grandpa in his wheelchair.
I'm sure.
With Paisley in the back.
And then you were like, here, can you hold all the stuff we bought as well?
Yeah, I don't like to hold things either. Josh gets
look, these sandbags, they look fun. Let's buy these.
And I'm pretty sure there's never anything in my cute little backpack.
No, there's not. You have like the portable phone chargers that weigh half a pound.
That's awesome.
I'm bad, I'm sorry.
But hey, that way I can pull out our industrial camera and take a picture of you. So
I think whenever we go to Disney next, and I decide I'm gonna bring a doll against his wishes. It'll have to be so light.
You should bring Kinsley. That'd be great.
Yes, I want.
This way we can take it in the park and then we can just throw it in the trash can after we're done.
I decided.
Buy one of the videos they have there.
I have a question for the class.
Okay.
I decided
front row.
This is what I would like for my birthday present, aka Christmas. This is what I want for my collective present from both of you. I want Kinsley to be in Disney to take a picture with Jack. I want him to
hold. Would have to be a Christmas present just based off of when Jack is around.
Oh yeah, that's right. Wait, Christmas? I thought it would be a Halloween.
He's like Halloween and Christmas. They leave him out.
That's weird how that happens.
Because we were there in like January, and that's when
why isn't he there all the time?
Well, we were there. It was January, but it was like January
Yeah, they
first.
still had all the Christmas decorations.
Yeah, they don't get rid of the Christmas decorations till like the second or week of January or something.
Well, my first time going to Disney will be with y'all, and we're gonna go at Halloween time. It's going to happen. I don't even care if we have to go Halloween time in August. It's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening. I've never been, and
Awesome.
I really want to go during Halloween because they also have the Halloween party that you have to pay extra for, and that's when the lines are short. You get to wear whatever costume you want. They bring out all the characters.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
I gotta say, now that we're switching topics from dolls to Disney, I feel a lot more like I can carry on a conversation.
I know, but see,
sorry.
that's what I mean. I can't talk about dolls forever. But
and it's true. Does anybody have questions too about like anything?
Somebody, my dad says, "Pack mule Ethan." Yeah, that about sums it up.
He also says that baby parts in a bag is scary.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Because he's never seen baby parts in a bag before.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Ethan's mom wants to know, what do you weight the dolls with?
I weight the dolls with fine glass beads that it's just, I mean, I could show you. Does she want to see?
Sure, let's see the fine glass beads.
Sorry, I was distracted by Mom. Mom wants me to talk about when we brought Paisley into the Disney World park. So everybody left me, so I'm going through security alone. And everybody was asking if Paisley was a real baby, and I was really nervous. And I'm at Disney, so I was like, "Yeah, she's a real baby. She just turned probably 2 months old, and I'm 24 because I was wearing my birthday pin."
Yeah.
And then I didn't have socks on Paisley, and it's February. And some lady, she's just whispering, and she's like,
that baby doesn't have socks on.
So
her mother is a monster.
So we ran into the first store we see to find socks.
And that was most of the video, was just walking through that store.
And because I put her away after that because I was so scared.
Yeah. In the backpack that I was carrying.
My friend lives next door, and I will frequently bring dolls over to show her. I used to do it a lot more than I do it now, but it would be like the middle of winter, and it's just like in a onesie. I was like, oh my god, like you see the neighbors. My neighbors, I don't know them very well. They thought that I started fostering children, because she always sees me with babies.
I really wonder what our neighbors think, because like we have a pretty big garage, and like if I'm working on something in there.
Here's fine glass beads. Sorry, this is fine glass beads. Yay!
It kind of looks like cat litter.
And I will be honest with you, I have to keep them away from my cats because they also sometimes think that it is cat litter, and it's not good.
Did I tell you that we're gonna start a Twitch, and we're gonna play games and talk during it?
Wait, hold on. Say that again.
We were gonna start a Twitch.
Okay.
So it's like streaming a video game or something like that.
What video game are you gonna stream?
So the first one we're gonna stream is
this kid. Her parents keep fighting, and so she turns her parents into dolls, and then the parent dolls have to go through marriage therapy.
Okay.
Is this a real game or a game that Kiersten's playing?
No, it's a video game. My wife's just terrible at explaining it.
She's like, is it The Sims?
Made by this company, and like a lot of video games, right? You'll play through and you can play it by yourself, or you can play with a couple of people. This game, you have to specifically play through the game with 2 people, like no more, no less. It's 2 people. So the name of the game is It Takes Two. And the premise of the story is it's kind of done in this fun, cartoony style, I think. And this couple is fighting, and their daughter's watching them fight, and like it's implied that they fight a lot. So, and we haven't played the game yet. We've just seen trailers. We're waiting to start playing it until we like actually do the game. But she's sitting in the attic watching them fight out in the front yard, and she's like crying because her parents are fighting, and the tears drop on these 2 dolls. And then, magic happens and all this stuff. Well, now the parents' our souls are in these dolls, right? And they're in this almost Toy Story-like world where it's kind of a mix between fantasy and like reality. And they're like,
right? What is the name of this?
It's called It Takes Two.
So we're
not sponsored.
We're gonna go play this game because I guess it's related to my channel since they turn into dolls and we're married.
Right.
That sounds great.
So we're gonna go for marriage counseling.
fully support this. When is this going to happen?
We were talking about doing it today, but I also have to put my Jeep back together today so I can drive to work tomorrow. That might be a priority. So I don't know if we're gonna do that. But the reason I thought about this is because we were talking about how the beads look like cat litter, and the name of our channel is hardcore kitty litter.
Okay. Why?
Why?
This is our friend.
Why?
This is what our friend group came up with.
Well, no,
one day.
Yeah, so we had a friend group of people that we knew in Hawaii, and we taught. And one time, I changed the group name to Hardcore Kitty Litter
and
for
we
some
each
ridiculous
had cat
reasons.
Names.
And so we all when you're in like your Facebook chat or whatever.
Yeah,
you're
like bald
nicknames.
kitty. I'm cute kitty.
Okay, I wasn't bald kitty. Okay, I was probably like cool kitty or something. I don't know. I don't understand why you just jumped to bald because that wasn't true. But whatever.
Chelsea's dying.
Maybe we do need to play that couples game and figure out
Why don't you just need to jump to that?
and figure out how to treat each other with a little bit of respect.
What's Wells's name?
I don't know. Probably like bad decision kitty. But yeah, so that was the name of it, and we started playing Red Dead Redemption, which I'm sure Kiersten's told you about. And it's an old Western game, like where you play as cowboys and stuff. And
we don't really talk about video games ever, so
I don't think most people know I play video games.
Well, that's like
I think that's great. I fully support the Twitch channel. I think that's wonderful.
To be fair, in Kiersten's defense, she doesn't really play video games. She
I
plays
just play
one. She plays one. So it's going to be really interesting to see her try to figure out a different one.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got we got a VR for Christmas.
No.
Have you guys ever done any of the VR stuff? Do you have one?
So my friend back in Florida, we were roommates forever, and he is a very big PC gamer. So he has like his VR system. He has like 2 towers in the corners of his room that track his movements.
This is his whole room.
He's got like this waist and ankle and wrist bracelets that all track his movements. And he's got these controllers that like can move. You can track your fingers and all this. Is this your setup as well?
Close.
Oh God.
No, we got the Quest 2, and I don't really know what I thought I was getting into, like when I because I've never done anything like that. It's insane.
Yeah.
We had the Climb 2 game. Like my legs are shaking. Like it's because you feel like you're actually rock climbing, and I can't explain this to you, but I also so very much am terrified of snakes. I just want you to know that, like, I have a phobia that is like not okay. So I'm climbing a canyon, feeling like I'm just amazing, and I just come up here, and there's a rattlesnake in my face, and when I tell you, I screamed and threw the thing off my head.
Yeah,
nightmare sense.
That'd be my reaction.
I also have really bad motion sickness, so it's not fun for everyone. But it's very, very, it's so cool. And I feel like people that have depression or something, just put the VR on and just go lay in the beach, like the pretend beach. It just feels very, very cool. I really enjoy it. The kids love it too. Josh likes it. He plays the I think it's Doom maybe. But he was fighting zombies and he's scared out of his mind. And I find that hilarious.
No, it's insane. So I'll tell you my first experience with a VR headset, and it wasn't like the new stuff, right? It was must have been several years ago, but PlayStation came out with a VR headset, and their big game that like really sold this VR headset was Resident Evil 7. And you know what Resident Evil is?
No.
Scary.
It's a horror game. So it's like zombies and like monsters and stuff like that. Just creepy jump scares.
Yeah.
So I play this game, and at the time, my favorite car was a Dodge Challenger. I started up this game in VR, because I was like, the first time I ever want to play through this really creepy game, I want to play it in VR. So the character's name is Ethan.
Aww.
That's my name.
Is it?
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Yeah, I'm Ethan.
Okay.
This is Lambie. And then the car he is driving is a Dodge Challenger. And I'm like, okay,
Wow.
all right. And so I'm playing through this game, and this is before I was like still in the barracks in the military.
Yeah.
And I'm in this
They're
little
very
goalie
small.
chair. It wasn't. It was probably like 10 feet back, but they have long. It was like one of the ones that has a cord hooked up to the system.
Oh, did you punch the wall?
No, but because I have a controller, like this VR. It was just visual, and then I had a controller to move everything. But probably 10 minutes into the game, my wheelie chair was bumping into the back of the wall because it was crazy. And then I didn't play VR. Well, I played through that game in VR, and then I didn't play VR for a few more years. And it was right before I left from Florida to come out here in the beginning of 2020. Because, like I said, my friend, he's got a room of VR, and I was his roommate. Like, he offered for me to play it all the time.
That's
I was
cool.
like, no, that's okay. I was like, nah, I don't really want to get into it. And then
And when he
one
says
time I
that this
did.
is his room, like most people have a bedroom with like stuff in it. He has a mattress on the ground and then all the VR
No, he
stuff.
has a mattress shoved against the wall so that he can play VR.
He like sleeps in VR. He just like
Right.
sleeps
And so he puts me in the Matrix, right? I get all the whole get up everything. And like I'm doing these things to like sync all my motion sensors up to all the cameras that are tracking me in the room.
Yeah.
And I'm like mapping out the room with the little thing so I know where to not run into.
Right.
And then I'm in the Matrix. Okay. And then I'm hitting little
Kids?
No. What? What's wrong with you? Okay, I'm sorry. You're kicked off the live stream. Anyways, no, I was playing. Have you played Beat Saber?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was playing that, and I was like, this is awesome. This is insane.
Yes.
And then I played some zombie game and some other stuff, but I probably played it for like 2 hours or more. And then I finally took off the headset, and I was like, this doesn't even look real.
Yeah.
Like, reality looks really boring.
And then you'd have this weird headache. You're like, why do
didn't
my
get a
eyes
headache.
hurt? Oh,
Yeah, no, I didn't get a headache from it.
The kids will come in, like Jack especially, like he plays it for so long and he has like the indentation because you have to keep, it has to be tight and then just this red mark on his face. I'm like, oh, you've been playing for a while, bud. He's like, no. Like deep into his face.
That's what I was about ready to say. Like, I remember when I was a kid and like we would get up in the middle of the night and play video
Play
games.
outside.
No, why would we play outside? No, if we would like get up in the middle of the night, play like a video game or something like that. It's like, oh, the parents are up, we gotta shut it off and jump into bed. I don't think your kids could really lie. Because you'd be like, were you guys playing video games? And you'd be like, no. And they have this mark across their face.
Exactly.
Like I was sleeping on my pillow. That's why this is like this.
What do you even do? Do you pretend you believe the liar?
Yeah, Jack would try to pretend as if that I was stupid. Like, I don't even know. It's like, no, this has been here. This is my face. Yeah.
I got really confused earlier when you were like, for my Christmas gift, I want a picture of Kinsley with Jack. And I'm like,
you're like,
I was like, Kinsley was literally at your house. Why didn't you just take a picture of this?
You have one, weirdo. Yeah. Oh, he loved that doll. He really did. He loved that doll.
Photoshop her into that picture we have of
Yeah, you should just totally do that. That would be totally fine. I would totally believe it too. Jack is he's so invested in like the like continuing lives of the dolls. It's very, very cute. He knows who has every doll, especially if you have a lot more of them. So, it's like, oh, they have Kinsley, or they had the redheaded toddler. Oh, he'd love that doll. That was cool. I think like when he gets older, I'm very much looking forward to him like being like more involved, like doing the newborn photos. Like that would be really cool to take that off my plate because he loves photography. So, but yeah.
So does he know?
It's gonna be so amazing when he grows up.
Does he know all of the dolls Kiersten has, and does he follow their lives?
Yeah, actually, he does. I know you were trying to be like mean about that.
No, I wasn't trying to. I was trying to get curious.
He knows he has a camera in your house, and he like.
Wow, that's crazy.
Good.
he knows because I think Maddie was like the first one that was like, whoa, that baby looks real. Like that was the first time that, I mean, I've had experiences like that before, but Maddie alone and as a kid is just so realistic and beautiful. And I remember because Josh went away for work to Vegas for 2 weeks. I remember I finished that doll so fast because I was like so focused and I was like in love with it. It was awesome. And we went and took photos and like we'd order pizza and we freaked the pizza guy out like so much because we had her like on like the rocking horse and she like slowly started falling off. And he's like, oh God, I thought that was real. I'm like, oh, it's a doll. It's fine. Don't worry.
I think she was also the first where I was like, holy crap, this is a real baby.
Yeah. She photographs so well too. She's beautiful. How's the chat doing? Like, wow, we're really glad that we get to listen to you guys talk the whole time.
There's only 18 people in the chat now.
I'm sorry, it's my fault. It's my fault.
We're having fun being real humans.
Okay. Is it maybe because we went on earlier?
I think it was I think it's just we've been going for a while and a lot of the ones where we'll
we
have like
talked about video games and
I think that was whenever people were like, nobody likes games.
But for a podcast though, I feel like people, if they're interested in that, we're seriously considering doing this like regularly, just chatting and talking about stuff.
I mean, I think maybe we'll do the Sunday thing together. Maybe next time we'll try to
we gotta talk about next time because we're going to Six Flags next Sunday.
Ooh.
I have to do it in the Jeep on the ride over.
Yeah, well, or we can
have you guys considered doing it on a different like on Saturday or Sunday you're definitely set on?
I was gonna say we could move it to Saturday.
We could. I procrastinate, and I know a lot of my viewers love my role play videos. So Saturdays when I'm like, oh, I gotta make a video.
Yeah. Well, I'll also have stuff to paint too, like so I can paint more on Sundays, but as long as that wasn't extremely boring for people. But I like listening to people have conversations. So
yes,
I don't know.
I had the time of my life.
I prefer to be a human than constantly only think and talk about dolls.
Yeah, me too. But I mean, it's fun too. I mean, if I just feel like, what was I going to tell you guys? I was going to say something I can't remember. But now I have this doll that I will do something with.
Well, I think Ethan mentioned he's going to sue you for copyright if you give it a beard.
Right. No, that's what I told Kiersten. I was like, I'm afraid, like, what if she puts glitter all over the front of it and a beard? I was like, I don't know if we can be friends after that. She's stealing my work.
Personally, I like the blonde hair. Was that your mom that did the blonde hair?
Yes, she made Tiger King.
that was what that was?
No, she was not intentionally doing that. Someone said it looked like him, and now I just can't unsee it.
I love that. That is very accurate. Yes. And I loved your dad's too. It's very, very good. So
yes, he did great. It's especially great if you look at it from like all angles and you can see where he was too lazy to paint.
It's awesome.
So I think in the future, us doing this, we'll probably put something together a little bit better, topics to talk about. Like this one was kind of just talking about Chelsea and your guys' friendship and everything like that. So probably in the future, I can come up with some crazy stuff. I'll have you guys play 20 questions.
Okay.
Okay. Well, so then we can talk about when it's offline.
Yeah.
We don't have to like discuss our stuff on the live.
I like to end the podcast asking, what are we going to have for lunch today?
Well, we already ate lunch.
Oh, I'm having homemade pizza for dinner, by the way.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
We tried to make homemade pizza once, and then Kiersten threw it in the garbage.
I did?
Yeah.
Josh Daisy ate it?
No.
Josh is the cook here. I don't cook at all. I can't to save my life. So we have a bread machine that is like the best thing I've ever purchased in my life. So.
Aww.
Did I tell you? And I know that my parents are probably still in the chat.
They're like, yours guys are boring. We love it.
I'm gonna trash talk them real quick. When I was a kid, my mom decided that we would all be gluten-free. And this was before gluten-free was like the cool thing to do, right? And
you did not have celiac disease?
I don't know what that is. All I knew
It's
is my
the
life.
only disease that requires you to not be able to have gluten.
All I know is my childhood was terrible.
Yeah, Daisy.
And so my mom tried to make bread. It was not
without gluten. Yeah.
Right. It was the worst thing in the world. It basically tasted like have you ever touched like memory foam before?
Yes.
It was basically that.
Yeah. I'm about to blow your mind.
Okay, go for it.
So wait, so what year were you born in? Because I can't math.
2005.
94. He's 94.
I grew up in a household where we had a machine on the television that you had to slide a card through in order to watch TV, and we only had 1 hour a day.
Wow.
Yeah, look at his eyes. So we also had that. We were not allowed sugar cereal, so we were only allowed to have Rice Krispies. That's it. We weren't allowed to have any sugar cereal ever. I did not have sugar cereal until I went to college. That's a lie. I had sugar cereal when I went to my friend's house, but I was like that weird friend that had like a lot of sugar cereal because I'd never had it.
I went to Autumn's house. It was anything I wanted. It was amazing.
I had a very, very strict upbringing. So yeah, I understand.
Have you ever told her about what it was like whenever I grew up?
I don't know.
Oh, story time with Ethan. Let's go.
That's for a different day.
We'll my parents are here.
Yeah.
Your mom's like, do tell, Ethan. Tell me about it.
My mom's probably like, so what did you and Autumn do?
It was wonderful. I loved it.
Yeah.
There's nothing quite like living in the middle of nowhere, being homeschooled, and not knowing that people are actually real. That was so much fun.
I feel like I'm talking to Jack in the future, and that makes me really sad. I'm sorry.
No, it was a great time.
You were homeschooled your whole
life.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
No.
Listen, my kids are homeschooled just because of what was going on in life, but I am so excited for them to go back to school. You don't have any idea. But
well, do you love your kids?
Of course.
Well, then you're already a step ahead.
Okay, so your dad's gonna call any minute.
Listen.
I gotta take this.
I wish that I feel like I could have done without so much of the bullying and stuff that I experienced in school. And I do feel like I would like to keep my children in a bubble. I think that's like a thing that I struggle with. Like my husband is not on the same level as me. Like I'm the type of person like at the water park and at the ocean, like I cannot relax. They all know how to swim, but I'm like, where are they? You know, that's just how I am. I like that they're here with me. I like that I know what they're doing. I like that I am a very like that mom, but I do know that there's experiences that they need to have that are going to break their hearts, are going to, you know, whatever. I know that they have to have that. But I don't hate the fact that my daughter is going to homeschool through 7th grade next year. Don't hate it. I'm happy about it. She's like, why, what's wrong with 7th grade? I'm like, did you have a good wait, you were homeschooled. Did you have a good 7th grade?
No.
Ethan.
No. Sorry.
Did you have a good 7th grade, Kiersten?
That's where I met Autumn. So, I mean, yeah, 7th grade was the good year, but it was the only good year in school I ever had.
Really?
Yeah, 7th grade was my only good year. The rest I was bullied relentlessly.
7th grade was the worst year I've ever had. That was what, and then 8th grade was good because I discovered musical theater and like that's where I met my people. But
Dad went on a sandy adventure like a few days before I started 8th grade, so I was already miserable.
Wait, what did you just say? A sandy adventure?
He deployed.
Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. I didn't understand what that meant. I was like, what is that?
We're used to not being too direct in what we say about that kind of stuff.
I'm like, did you go to, wait, what? My brain just started like going. Okay, I understand now. I'm sorry. I got it. That's crazy. But you guys were also I could have probably been your babysitter. So let's be real.
Yeah, You asked the other day if you and my mom were the same age. No, but you could have been my babysitter.
Yeah. Well, your mom looks younger than me, so.
Wait, isn't Chelsea like
24? Yeah, I'm 24.
Yeah, she's younger than us.
Yeah.
I'm 24. I'm 24 with a 12-year-old and a 10-year-old.
That's good.
No, I am proud of my age. Listen, you guys know my story with my brother and all that stuff. So I'm proud of that. So
Yeah,
it's a gift.
Here.
Yeah, it is a gift. So, all right, guys. Well, I don't know should we continue? Should we wrap it up? What do you want to do? There's like 2 people in the chat. So
I just want to say, based off of the chat, Dad, I was just joking. I loved school so much. It was so great. Every moment of being homeschooled was bliss, and I made so many great friends along the way. And that's what really matters. And it was the best. Can't wait to go back.
And for my mom, my energy drink addiction started at Autumn's house in like 8th grade.
oh my God. Oh boy. Wow, that was the funniest thing I've ever heard, Ethan. All the friends that
I
you
got all
made.
the homeschool jokes. Whenever at work.
Do you have siblings? though? You have siblings?
Yeah, I have 3 brothers.
I have 3 brothers. Weird.
So
older or younger?
1 younger, 2 older.
Oh, okay.
he acts like
You're the middle. So you're the middle.
Yeah, you do.
'Cause I'm bald. Thanks. I appreciate it.
So you're the middle child, kind of.
One of the middle ones, yeah. The younger middle.
Baby middle.
And Kiersten,
Younger middle.
Kiersten, you're your only child then. Yeah.
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 Autumn's the closest thing I have to a
Does it
sibling.
show? Can you tell?
For her?
Well, can you tell that I have 3 brothers and she's an only child based off of
Listen, Ethan, everything that you've told me in this live, it now all makes sense. You're homeschooled, you're a middle, like it's all makes sense.
That's what I tell people whenever I'm at work and they're like, "You're weird," or "Why do you not understand that?" I'm like, I was homeschooled, so yeah.
I say that every time Jack says something like he's like, yeah, but the moon is made of cheese. I'm like, yeah, he's homeschooled. I'm sorry.
Bless his heart.
Listen, I have one. I can teach art and I can teach reading, and he doesn't like reading.
It's always fun because we'll have like conversations, with like people and stuff like that. And Kiersten will be like, "Yeah, so when you're watching the moon landing, oh, Ethan, do you know what the moon landing is?"
Or I'll be talking to friends about like school and lockers and free periods, and I'll have.
I just always assumed reality was kind of like a sitcom where it's only filmed from one perspective and everybody has a laugh track.
Oh goodness! So you never went to prom?
No.
He goes, no. So you never went to prom. You never did a school dance. You never had to deal with any of that.
Sometimes I listen to music in my room alone in the middle of the night. Is that kind of like prom?
Do you dance with the door frame? I used to do that. I used to dance with the door frame, pretend like I was at a school dance. What? Don't judge me. Oh, I'm the crazy one now. Okay.
You guys are over here like, Ethan's homeschooled, but you're like, oh, I danced with a door frame.
I don't think I ever did that. I didn't kiss a mirror or anything. I don't know.
I did. I totally did.
Now I'm kind of glad I wasn't public school and dancing with doors and kissing mirrors. What the hell?
Well, I mean, I played it alone in my room for a long time. Like that was it. I had my dolls and that's what I did. So I played with dolls like far longer than like one should play with dolls. So
yeah.
Well, we still play with dolls, but I'm just saying, like I was like 12, 13. So
I was in 9th grade, so like 13 or 14. And yeah, I was still playing with my baby born doll and American Girl doll.
And look at us now.
Didn't grow up.
We never grew up. And that's the best part. So you can come say hi really fast. Jack would like to say hi on the live.
Hi, Eric, how are you?
Yeah.
I already asked you that. I'm sorry.
You're famous.
How do you feel being a YouTuber now?
Cool. Do you know Ethan was homeschooled? Do you like being homeschooled?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I get to spend time with my mom.
Aww.
I
You just look like the worst son in the world.
I
now.
also loved being homeschooled because I spent time with my mom. That was my favorite.
No, but he'll be excited to go to school. So okay, go. Love you.
One day he's going to be on a podcast being interviewed, and he's going to be like, "I loved homeschool. It was my favorite.
I love my
It
mom.
was the best, and I love my mom."
I do think that we're gonna get him back into school in enough time that it was and how perfect that the world was upside down when everyone was kind of like homeschooling from a weird, like my daughter is homeschooled from the school system, and she's great. I mean, she's nothing like him, and I say that lovingly, love in my heart, but she's very like studious and perfectionist, and she just she's very, very good about being on time and stuff, and like but she's going to be homeschooling next year for a lot of different reasons, but mostly so we can move as soon as we can. So but she's excited to start, and I keep reminding her that a lot of people are going to be starting again in school as well. So it's a different world than when we went to school, right, Ethan? Did you have to sit at the kitchen table? Like, tell me what your day was like. I'm so curious.
What my day was? Yeah.
Oh, I want to hear this.
I guess I've never really gone into great detail about
Yes, I tell me.
A day in the life of Ethan at 12 years
a
old.
day in the life. Okay, so there it is, bright and early at noon.
At
I
noon?
wake up out of bed.
You got to start school at noon? Like you could sleep in all day?
No, it was our mom usually had us get up at a certain time, usually about 5 days out of the year. And so I feel like my parents have probably left the chat at this point.
Is there like two people in here? Is it Ginny and Katie?
Probably. But a day in my life. No, we would do our assignments at the kitchen table. That was where we did our assignments.
Nice.
That was the worst day in the life ever.
Oh.
Yeah, what do I do for a day in the life? First, you got to wake up. You got to do your getting ready activities.
Okay, my getting ready activity was going pee, brushing my teeth, and going to the kitchen table.
So did you have the assignments like laid out for you that morning, or did you already know what was expected to you because you did like everything the same every day?
I think we usually knew like what to do. So like our math books, a lot of it was reading the stuff on our own. So like each day you read the next chapter in the math book.
Mm-hmm.
Each day you read the next chapter in the English book. Do the assignments at the end.
That's it?
Yeah.
So we're so lucky that we are in 2021.
Yeah.
Not then, because I mean, listen, that as somebody who works full time and is trying to do this, it's very, very hard. But there is like homeschooling, like things online that Jack does, and it teaches him like through like kid sing song stuff. Like it's very old after a while, but he is learning how to do it from there. And then like anything else, I usually forget, but I try to make him do it. But he does not enjoy the same things that I enjoy, and neither does my daughter. That's very hard for me. I can't do math to save my life ever. I can't do it. I don't have the ability or the thing in my brain that's like, I've taken all the classes. I have a college degree. Somehow I did it. But and Josh is very good at math, and so is Allie. But you have to be able to teach it, and like that's really difficult. So where he's getting to like the hard stuff, and it's difficult. But I'm so grateful that there's a system in place like that teaches him with like actual games and stuff like that. What was that?
Oh, I was just reading the chat. My
God.
brother says that it was 9 a.m. when we got up. I don't remember.
How old is your brother?
Super.
This one?
He used to be 26.
I swear to God. How old is he? You just said super
20,
old. I will punch
20,
you.
28. I
Oh my
don't know.
God.
How old's the oldest then? How old's Tyler?
He's like 31,
32, 33.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You guys, I'm
I was homeschooled, okay? I don't know how to do math.
I am 37.
I'm so
So
sorry.
I'm basically ancient, right?
No.
No, I just feel ancient now that I'm 26.
I don't think we're that old.
I just don't feel like it's a pretty number.
26?
Kiersten,
seems
for
like a
real,
pretty
stop
answer.
it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
I just don't like the number 6, okay?
Okay, I get that.
7's
Yeah.
prettier.
Yeah,
28
I
is
did.
prettier.
37 wasn't like it was a. Am I 30? Yeah, I'm 37. So I don't like the. I don't like 7s. 38 will be fine. Be fine. I had Jack on my 28th birthday, so he'll be 10, and I will be yes. Oh, delicious! Yes, he made homemade pizza sauce, so
Oh, good.
he is such a good guy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very spicy. Oh,
And your brother says he's 28.
My brother is 28. So I was right.
that's so nice when he watches your lives.
People are
That's
saying, Ethan, you're digging yourself in a hole.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, why? What did I do?
You're like, he's so old. He's like 29.
All right, well, that's been fun.
Josh is gonna be 41 this year, so
Wow.
yep. Listen, it just gets better.
It has to. So
It
as you
does.
get older, you learn more stuff and you don't cry over 1,000 people being mean to you anymore.
Well, you might still cry about it, but then you realize that life's too short for that. So
Yeah.
yeah. And you just like, I'm just gonna turn off the comments because I don't want to deal with this anymore. Yeah. I think that if you are very, very mature, I'm sure you've heard that. Both of you are. I mean, sorry, I'm just going in a place that I don't feel like there's a huge age gap between us. Maybe I'm just super young at heart. So
Maybe. Sometimes people consider me mature and then others are like, you still have dolls. You're a baby.
yeah.
I think you're very mature, especially when you compare like you to me.
I think it's my job. I think my job, joining that job at 18 years old, it makes you
Yeah.
grow up really fast.
I mean, that's the whole
Point of
basic,
it?
like that's the whole beginning of it. Really is making
Well, from
basically
that
taking
first moment-
everyone down
Yeah.
to build everyone to the same level.
Yeah.
I did have a question though about the homeschooling thing. Not to go back to that and dig myself into a deeper hole, but so for us, the state of Illinois,
Mhm.
they did not require us to like every semester or something like that, like go to a public school and test.
Mhm.
And I know some states do that. Is that the case in your state?
Yeah, so Georgia will require that, but it's not every year. I think it's like every other year, but he'll already be back in school. So I did have him take the state test this year because I wanted to see how much I failed as a teacher. Basically, that's how I wanted. He got 100.
That's amazing.
He's a smart kid, so I don't give him enough. But he is the biggest procrastinator and hates sitting down and do anything. But he does fine. There's different state regulations though, like there's different things that different states say that you need to learn, and that's you never know that when you have your kid in public school, right? There's state standards, so it's very different in each state. Like what? She's like, no, mom, no, thank you.
Yeah, I know. Like whenever I, was a grown-up person and no longer at home, I looked that up and I remember seeing that each state's different, and a lot of states don't even require there to be any check as far as if they're learning anything. And I always thought that like if the state at least checked more often that people are actually learning what they need to be learning, even if it's not anything extreme, that would solve some things.
Did you find it difficult? Like, do you have your GED or is it a high, like?
It's a high school diploma. So the way, at least the state of Illinois worked back then was whenever I had, finished high school or whatever, my mom sent in a piece, like she just tore a notebook piece out and wrote down all the classes that I did. And she sent that into the state and they sent back a diploma. I mean, I'm joking, but that essentially is what it was.
Ethan learned good.
Yeah, she was like, Ethan did all this good stuff and I gave him a gold sticker, and then they gave me a diploma back. So that was
That's
that.
crazy. That's great though. I mean,
No, but I think, and I'm saying this if my parents are still listening. I say this honestly. For the homeschooling thing, this is what I tell a lot of people, because they're like, oh, you were homeschooled your whole life. Should I homeschool my kids? And I think it depends what your intentions are. Like, a lot of people homeschool their kids specifically to shelter them and make the parents' beliefs and views and ways of life the kids.
Yeah.
And I think that always ends really badly if that is your goal.
Yeah.
Because then kids see the real world and they're like, oh, like, there's a real
shell
world out
shock
there,
and it can screw them up.
And I think another thing is, and I saw this, was a lot of the curriculum that we were specifically taught was stuff that my mom was really good at. So like English and math, whereas we didn't have as much science or history. And I don't know if my mom didn't like that, but I don't feel like we ever were taught that. And I joke people all the time, there's this game called Assassin's Creed that is about historical events. And I'm like, oh, that's how I learned history, was by playing this video game.
Yeah. No, I as somebody, as a mother who's homeschooling, I understand. I mean, it's difficult. It's very difficult to make sure that they're getting like the balance that you would get. But then I started to realize, because as like the behind the scenes, if you will, of like schools and like what they require. Now I'm dealing with Jack, who is a almost 10-year-old boy who is probably has raging ADHD, like cannot focus to save his life. And the teacher's dealing with like 30 of those children. And I know that like the feedback that I've received about the kid is like, he's great, I'm like, I don't know if we're really assessing each child the way that you're. And I'm teachers are phenomenal and they do so much, but it's so difficult to really truly like see what your kid needs, because every child is completely different. And I thought that he was a way better writer than he really is. So I don't know if like they're helping or like if they're just like, I don't know what it is, but me going into it, I struggled a lot with my expectations of where he was versus where he actually was, if that makes any sense. So, but I mean, like these kids have gone through so much, like being pulled away from their friends, and the social thing is something that he absolutely needs. He needs to run like a puppy daily, and that's hard. Like when the child was 2, I would legitimately take him for runs with me. I'm not joking. Because he's so much energy. He needed to run it out, and like school provides that place of like the social stuff, and also like the recess and the gym and all that stuff. That's just stuff that I'm like, just go outside and play. Just go in the VR and climb a mountain. Like it's hard. It's not easy. But and also I really enjoy reading and writing and stuff, and neither one of my kids enjoy that at all. They would rather put together like complex Lego sets. I'm like, what?
Wait, you didn't tell me your kids put Legos together.
I guess I didn't know. Now you have something to talk to our kids about.
Perfect.
Yeah, they love to put together like logic stuff, and I'm like, I don't know you. Yeah, Allie does like really complicated math problems for fun, and it gives me hives. She's in 6th grade doing 9th grade math for fun.
See, I always really liked math, but I learned it the weirdest way, because our mom was essentially like, here's what? Why is that so funny? Why are we laughing?
Like I learned it like in the backyard in the woods with like sticks. So like I don't know if everyone knows that. Sorry.
I don't get what happened.
You're adorable.
What did I do?
We start a Twitch and we can just roast you all day long.
All right. Well, you guys have fun talking.
No, it's just I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You have a good face.
I'm not trying to shame you.
It's just face for laughing. Thanks.
You're like, I learned it like the weirdest way.
No, I did.
It's like a hard cut to like Ethan like scratching stuff on like a tree.
Oh, I get you. Okay. So, Ethan's so funny.
You are.
No, the weird way that I learned it was we had the textbook that we learned in, right? Like it had all the like read all this to learn how to do these equations.
Yeah.
But I would read the answer. I'd look at the answer booklets and I'd look at the questions because our mom was just like, here's the answer booklet, like grade your own test. And I legitimately wanted to learn it. So I would look at the answers and I would basically look at the questions and figure out how to get to the answer.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I used to do that too. If the answers were in the back, I'm like, how did we get to 14? Because I had like 157. Yeah.
Our military tests, that's how I did it. The ones we do when we first get in.
Yeah. I think the reason I did it that way is because I just hated reading. Like it'd be like all this reading to figure out how to do a math problem. And
what did you do? Funny. What did you do like in between school? Like, did you have like other stuff that you were doing? Like,
I'd sit in my room and my room, the door locked from the outside. So no.
I was gonna say Legos. You had a basement full of Legos, right?
Yeah, we had a huge Lego table. It was like 10 foot by 10 foot. And then there was Legos on the table, on the floor, around, just everywhere. We had like a basement full of Legos. And I played a lot of Legos. We went outside. I dug holes for fun. Yeah, a lot of people like that story. I would go out into our field and just dig holes.
Yeah, when I was in trouble, my dad would hand me a shovel and say, dig a hole, because I was bad.
I'm really great at digging holes.
He would have never known how to punish you.
No.
Yeah. Okay. That's like we once did that with Jack too. He was in trouble and like we didn't know like what to do because he was just. So we're like, oh, let's just take the door off his room. Like we need to take he was like 4 or 5.
Oh.
But like we're talking about like he's like, this is the best day ever. I don't have a door.
You're like, fine, you get half a door. We're gonna cut the door in half.
And Josh and I were just like, we've never felt more inadequate as parents than we do with that child because he doesn't care. I remember one year I said, you keep this up, you are not going to go trick-or-treating. And he goes, that's okay. I'll just go trick-or-treating in my mind.
That's awesome.
Got him.
That's awesome.
I was like, no, you won't. Yeah.
Sitting there on the couch. I'm having so much fun.
I'm having the best day ever. This is great. He's like eating pretend candy. Yeah.
Like, my mom could never sew me a costume like this one.
Oh boy. Yeah. So that's what I deal with.
That's amazing. I wish I had been that rebellious and confident.
Dude, I would never dare. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
never ever.
Definitely. Never, ever. I don't think I was that bad, but I didn't just get the door taken off. I got my room removed. My dad, he laid down one of my blankets on the living room floor and was like, this is your room now. Congratulations. You're that bad.
That's a great idea. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
He'd be like, great, I love being in the living room.
There's so much to do in here.
Right? There's so much room for activities.
Exactly. Let's build bunk bed couches.
Yeah, basically that would be him. Yeah. Some kids are just like that then. I don't know. Are we eating soon? We're wrapping up. He wants to know when we're gonna eat. So
all right,
I think we've been at this for
over 2 hours.
Wow. It's been so much fun. I hope people enjoyed it and I hope it wasn't too boring. Oh no, okay, well, did you guys do a sign off or should we say bye to the 2 people that are still watching?
Do you guys want to just wave and say goodbye until I figure out how to actually end this thing?
Well, let's get Daisy here then. Daisy.
Oh, should we? Okay.
Daisy, come here.
We'll just have Daisy in front of the camera.
And you're so smart. Yeah. And heavy.
That's Daisy, isn't she cute?
She's tap dancing on the chair.
Say hi. This is my lovely oldest.
Aww, hello.
That's
Daisy.
Daisy.
Likes
Hi,
you.
Daisy.
Daisy, say hello.
That is a big kitty.
Why does she have dirt on her head?
Oh.
Is she playing in holes again?
She looks like she's so over you guys. She's like, oh God, look at her making
like,
it go again.
She's like, can you guys end the live stream so I can have attention, please? You guys haven't petted me forever.
thank you guys so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. It was fun. Gave me something to do social for the first time in like 2 years.
So much fun. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't know how to end it, so you're gonna have to. Oh wait, I can leave.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.